Good morning, this is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 220 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation where we use female words. This would be August 8th if you're starting at the new year, where sin has left. Forgiveness is this world's equivalent of heaven's justice. It translates the world of sin into a simple world where justice can be reflected from beyond the gate, behind which total lack of limit lies. Nothing in boundless love could need forgiveness, and what is charity within the world gives way to simple justice past the gate that opens into heaven. No one forgives unless she has believed in sin and still believes that she has much to be forgiven. Forgiveness thus becomes the means by which she learns she has done nothing to forgive. Forgiveness always rests upon the one who offers it until she sees herself as needing it no more, and thus is she returned to her real function of creating, which her forgiveness offers her again. Forgiveness turns the world of sin into a world of glory, wonderful to see. Each flower shines in light, and every bird sings of the joy of heaven. There is no sadness, and there is no parting here, for everything is totally forgiven, and what has been forgiven must join, for nothing stands between to keep them separate and apart. The sinless must perceive that they are one, for nothing stands between to push the other off, and in the space that sin left vacant do they join as one, in gladness, recognizing what is part of them has not been kept apart and separate. The holy place on which you stand is but the space that sin has left, and here you see the face of Christ arising in its place. Who could behold the face of Christ and not recall her mother as she really is? Who could fear love and stand upon the ground where sin has left a place for heaven's altar to rise and tower far above the world and reach beyond the universe to touch the heart of all creation? What is heaven but a song of gratitude and love and praise by everything created to the source of its creation? The holiest of altars is set where once sin was believed to be. And here does every light of heaven come, to be rekindled and increased in joy. For here is what was lost restored to them, and all their radiance made whole again. Forgiveness brings no little miracles to lay before the gate of heaven. Here the child of God herself comes to receive each gift that brings her nearer to her home. Not one is lost, and none is cherished more than any other. Each reminds her of her mother's love as surely as the rest, and each one teaches her that what she feared, she loves the most. What but a miracle could change her mind so that she understands that love cannot be feared? What other miracle is there but this? And what else need there be to make the space between you disappear? Where sin once was perceived will rise a world that will become an altar to the truth. And you will join the lights of heaven there and sing their song of gratitude and praise. And as they come to you to be complete, so will you go with them. For no one hears the song of heaven and remains without a voice that adds its power to the song and makes it sweeter still. And each one joins in singing at the altar that was raised within the tiny spot the sin proclaimed to be its own. And what was tiny then has soared into magnitude of song, in which the universe has joined with but a single voice. This tiny spot of sin that stands between you and your sister still is holding back the happy opening of heaven's gate. How little is the hindrance that withholds the wealth of heaven from you, and how great will be the joy in heaven when you join the mighty chorus to the love of God. We are living in an age where science and spirituality more and more reveal the same thing. Both science and spirituality speak of a holographic universe, where it doesn't matter how small a piece of the universe you cut it into or separate it into, each piece contains the image of the whole. In a hologram, the tiniest piece of the holographic coating contains the entire image, but the image is weak. It is very faint, but the image is there, all of it, in its completion. When you add the other parts of the hologram together, the image gets stronger. The color, the contrast, every detail is more pronounced, more proclaimed. And it seems to me that that is what is being invited, that is what is being asked of us. If we are all infinitesimally small pieces of the hologram, and the image of all the radiance of God is within each piece, yes, but it is but faint until we begin to join together. The invitation is that we begin this process. We begin to join together. And the perception and the belief in sin holds us apart. It makes us want to feel distant from one another, to not spend time together, to not be in one another's space because we're perceiving this thing that isn't actually there. To forgive it is to stop believing in its existence and to let love be, which is the only reality, to let it be known in the space, which is not a space. That space disappears when we no longer desire it that it be there. So if we think about the other parts of the creation that we perceive as being separate from us, how do we feel about them? Do we find those things annoying? Do we find them draining? Do we wish not to be spending time with them? Do we wish to separate ourselves away into some quiet sanctuary where we never have to see them again? That's because we perceive sin. We're perceiving something that's not there. And the forgiveness is the erasing of that, such that the thing that we used to want to push away is the thing that we love the most. And we don't want to even think about being without. We can't bear to be without it. Now, we know that the earthly experience of being in love is full of fear and attachment. It is a thing that is ephemeral. It is temporary. Think of Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream, where the Fae are toying with humans and showing them how silly they are. One minute they are obsessed with someone, and the next minute they hate their guts and can't stand to be around them. And, you have these uneven situations where one person is obsessed with the other and the other person feels only hatred towards that person. And it's just showing us the farce of the human condition. But if we think of this ideal of being in love, and if we think of it in a heavenly way, as not being attached to any specific form or person or way of being, but applied equally to all particles of the creation, just that feeling, that in love feeling. If you could bottle that up and sell it like a medicine, just think of the in love as a thing, as an abstract concept, yes, but as the most precious and important thing. And if that were the mortar, the glue that lives in all those gaps and all those spaces when the perception of sin is erased and collapsed, that's the work, that's the soul work. When that gap is there, that feeling of magnets repelling, that feeling of, I can't stand to be with that person or that concept or that experience or that thing, know that we are interacting with an illusion, a thing that does not exist. A Course in Miracles is not asking us to love an unlovable thing. It says that unlovable thing doesn't exist. That's the illusion. So set that aside. Look past it. The thing that is real is absolutely irresistibly lovable. The most lovable thing you could possibly imagine. And it reminds us frequently that we can't imagine it. If we think we can, we're wrong. And that is what would exist in the space between us. If we relinquish our attachment to the story that it is this hated way, if we offer that to the Holy Spirit, and in my experience, offering it just once doesn't do it because, well, first of all, how sincere are we? How much do we really mean it? How enthusiastic are we? We built the illusion in layers upon layers upon layers, and it seems we need to dismantle it in layers and layers and layers. Therefore, the very same thing, we do need to keep offering it to the Holy Spirit. So if there is a problematic situation, relationship, abstract idea, experience, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Every time we're aware that it is unpleasant in some way, it is yucky in some way, it feels bad in some way, we offer it again to the Holy Spirit because we have discovered another layer of it that has not yet been forgiven. So it's the onion layers. Resentments are built in layers. They don't just suddenly appear out of nowhere. They start with tiny irritations, and then they get built upon layer by layer by layer. A Course in Miracles teaches us that the tiniest irritation, the tiniest discomfort obscures murderous rage beneath it. It teaches us early on in the lessons there are no small upsets. In order to embrace the practice of A Course in Miracles, we must treat all upsets as equal. Just as there are no order of difficulties in miracles, there is no order of intensity in experience. That is part of the illusion. We hearken back to this holographic concept, how in the tiniest particle exists the whole. Therefore, in the tiniest discomfort, the tiniest numbness or boredom contains murderous rage in it. And until we get that it is a thing to give away, to offer to the Holy Spirit, to be judged by love and undone, so that we can embody nothing but unbridled, radiant love and joy, we have not gotten the message of A Course in Miracles yet. And that's how we dismantle, that's how we forgive. It's an illusion, it's not real, but as long as we believe in it, we just read in yesterday's text reading that anything that a child of God believes in cannot be destroyed. It is our belief that is being undone, and our belief was built in layers. We are dismantling it in layers because that's how we believe it is, not because that's real. So our lived experience is going to seem like repeatedly offering it up to the Holy Spirit, like, oh, didn't I just already do this and now I'm having to do it again? Well, yes, because you still believe in the yucky thing, the thing that feels bad. You've encountered another layer of resistance. So don't be discouraged. Don't think that the work you already put in was meaningless. No, it's just that there were layers beneath, and you are making progress, and it is getting better, and don't give up. Keep at it. Every day there's another bite of the elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. The elephant is big. Don't be discouraged. In the present moment, there's another bite of the elephant being offered to you. Forgive. It's the only reason we're here. It's the purpose of life. And the fruits are sweet, and we will experience the fruits. But it seems inconsistent. It goes back and forth, because when we offer something up to the Holy Spirit, absolutely everything is colored with the light of heaven. But then when we get triggered and choose the ego again, that colors absolutely everything with the doom of hell. So we're still vacillating between those two things as long as there are moments when we're choosing the ego. Again, we should not be discouraged that in our lived experience, from our perspective of being in the illusion, it seems to take time and come in layers. That's how it was built up. So that is how it is dismantled. Again, still all an illusion. It's just how it looks to us from within the illusion. So keep up the good work. Each day, each present moment, you encounter it, you offer it up. If you are listening to these in order, starting at the new year, today is known of in astrological and spiritual circles as the Lion's Gate, the 8-8 day. The 8th month, 8th day. 8 rhymes with gate. The month of August is primarily Leo, and this is in the middle of the Leo energy in astrology. And it's just so cool that today's reading keeps mentioning Heaven's Gate, beyond which there are no limits. and where everything is translated into unity and love. The energy of the Lionsgate portal is considered to be of great beneficence, of great fortune, of good things pouring out from heaven onto those who are so wanting to receive them. And it just feels appropriate. Lesson 220 is the last review of this series. Review of Lesson 200. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. 200. There is no peace except the peace of God. Let me not wander from the way of peace, for I am lost on other roads than this. But let me follow her who leads me home, and peace is certain as the love of God. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Enjoy and savor this last review, and happy practicing.